Hey, everybody, welcome back. I am excited today because we're going to talk about 2025. Today is December 2024, and I wanted to take some time to think about what we all can begin thinking about for 2025 if we are artists. So, essentially, preparing for quarter one. And to give you a little bit of background about myself, I'm an artist and also have been working in development and help clients fundraise. And one of the things I find is planning. I find planning important. And I wanted to share a couple of things about what I'm doing to create a successful 2025 and to start a foundation for a good 2025. I think that as artists, and I can only speak about myself, it's sometimes difficult to think about how can we create a roadmap for the future. And the more I work on this field or in this field and this career, the more I begin to understand that it is possible. We just have to be strategic about how to find the things that are important to us and how to move to get to them and have goals. So today I wanted to share some things around what I'm hoping and creating for 2025. And I think that it's okay to start thinking about 2025 as 2024 is ending. One, I'm not a big proponent of New Year goals. And I'll tell you why. I think historically for me, 2025 or early 2025 or early any year, I don't tend to stick to those goals. So what I end up creating is making goals that last hopefully 6 months or 8 months or a year, even sometimes a few years in the future. And I feel that those are much easier for me than beginner of the year to achieve them and making them more if I schedule them 6 months or maybe a year in advance and look back. I just haven't been able to really stick to the beginning of the year goals. I end up flopping in the second, third, fourth week, and that's okay. But that does not mean that we can plan ahead. What I end up doing instead is planning for a quarter. In quarters, this means we're planning for quarter number one, which will be January, February, and March of 2025. And I think that for me, planning long term is more helpful than planning for the beginning of the year. And I'll share some of the tips that I want to share with you all today. The first thing is, I think that as an artist and a grant writer, I am excited, but also a bit overwhelmed. Yes, not underwhelmed, but overwhelmed about what things may bring. But the things that are coming and are guaranteed are definitely things that have been happening for the 2024 year, meaning that it's important to start thinking what things are already guaranteed happening, any contracts, any meetings, any things that you may be thinking about. For example, one of the reasons I say I don't plan for the beginning of the year is I have for the following 2024 or previous in this year, I have already worked hard to think about what potential opportunities I may have for 2025. So that means anything from working with clients who I worked in the past, reaching out to them and saying, "Hey, I'm interested in working with you. Are you available?" Or securing people who want to work in early spring 2025. So for me, I already have things lined up, and that's important to have things lined up already. One, because it prevents me from starting from scratch and prevents me from not having something solid, having things from previous months to build to here. I realize that this is not only about 2025 or the first quarter. It's really what have we been doing for the past few quarters. So quarter three, quarter four, for us to start quarter one in 2025. So I think that's the most exciting thing, having things already lined up. And maybe this is not like a contract or anything, but I think at least having conversations with potential clients, anything around, hey, I'm open for 2025. Are you open as well? And again, this information is not only for 2025. If you're seeing this or watching this in the future, it can happen. I think it's a good thought process for future years. One of the key parts of this is to talk about some of the key goals that are important for quarter one. As an artist, as someone who works in development and fundraising, is definitely starting with a mapping out potential opportunities. And I talked about this in social media. In the end of every year, what I always like to do is think about what future grants or opportunities are coming in the upcoming year. And what I have is a spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet is something that allows me to think about what things I like to create or apply for in the next year. So I already have the year planned out for things that I would like to apply for. This can be anything from residencies, gallery exhibitions, potential clients that I may like to work with. And that gives me a roadmap. Now, it's not set in stone, but it gives me a guide of the things that I can eventually apply for. So I think making a map of the things that you would like to do, who are you looking to work with, who are potential people that fit your client criteria, who are the things that what are the things that excite you or anything like that. So I think financially that could be one. A marketing wise, I think always when the season slows down, I like to use the end of quarter four or quarter four to think about quarter number one, to think about reassessing. My marketing strategy has been changing since I started. In the beginning, I had very limited capacity to create and to share my process online and to advertise the journey of being an artist. But over the years, I've been able to receive more help from other people to help me plan for it as well as to publish, which is huge help and removes a lot of weight off my shoulders. I think for marketing, it could be something like, what help can I receive? How can I also fund and receive money to help pay people to find the time to fund my marketing? That could be one thing. And then another thing would be, what kinds of things resonate with my audience in 2024. I haven't done it this week yet, but I'll definitely be doing it by the end of the year, 2024 or early 2025, is go back to all my social media marketing and think about, okay, what are the things that resonated most with my audience? What are the things that made people excited about the things that I share? And I think that using that information, how many people liked, how many people shared, how many people commented on it, it's a good sign of the things that eventually I can start creating and sharing with the world. I will be using that strategy to keep growing and furthering the attention that I have, that people will think about me and my art career. So marketing is huge. I really have liked marketing, and I think it's important to think about the strategies. Marketing can go as far also into who are the people that you can reach out to work with you or collaborate with you. One thing that has helped me this year is going to a lot of events and going to a lot of places where people have been giving me a lot of information around how the art world is working, how philanthropy is working as well. So I think that reaching out to them and cultivating relationships, such as sending them a follow up email, thanking them for meeting with you or meeting with me, and that has really helped me a lot to build relationships. In my work, I talk a lot about genuine relationships and not transactional relationships. And I really enjoy that because to me, a genuine relationship will create a more of a positive environment, a more of a possibility of working with people and essentially working with them long term versus something that, hey, I'm here, I'll do something with you for 2 days. That's it. That's fine. If that's something that you want to do that. But for me, I like to do long term because I really like to know the person and make sure that we're a good fit and that we can work together long term. So I think that's the biggest thing is working relationships. Who are the people that you want to work with? And I talked about this for so many years, is that oftentimes what's most important in my work is the people that I work with, the people that allow me to work with them. And I really have enjoyed creating this type of relationship. So the third thing, and of course, it's not an exhaustive list. I think the the first quarter or quarter number one will be important. Also, is staying creative and inspired while navigating the art world. I think that for me, it has been important to think about these balancing acts between staying creative, inspired, and also taking care of myself because I found out that the more I take care of myself, the more I'm able to produce. And I'm also thinking a lot about my myself, not as a machine, not as something that creates just for the sake of creating. I want to make sure that I also take rest. I also take time to heal, a time to relax, time to take care of myself. And the reason I say heal and take time for myself is that after working for so many days or so many months back to back with very little breaks or it's just a fast project, I have to make sure that the next few days to a few weeks, I take it slow. And I want to make sure that I am not working all the time. So also thinking about your type of a level of work that you want to produce. What is your plan if you have a year that you have 2, 3, 4, 5 big projects that will require 70, 80 hours of very focused work? So thinking about that, a scheduling vacation time ahead of time. And I know that may sound a little bit out there, but that has helped me. A and maybe vacation is not, going out the country or renting this huge space, but taking a time for nature, going out with friends, or not thinking about work. And of course, if it requires you to go out of the country, that's amazing as well. But the thing that's helping the most is really blocking times of, hey, I will not be available during these weeks throughout the year. And I have enjoyed doing that so that when people invite me to things or thinking about, hey, Antonio, we'll love to work with you, I already have times that I'm available and not available. So again, this really goes beyond planning quarter number one. It's really what have we been doing the whole year so that we are starting quarter one by a strong foundation from previous quarters. I think that's the biggest thing. Securing a mental health, a important part of my practice, and as well as to start creating and cultivating relationships with organizations, with people who may work with me in the future. And of course, it's only a small conversation about the bigger picture about what is it that you want for quarter one and how does that tie to quarter two? How does that tie to quarter three and quarter four? Again, that is a summary of what I would recommend to think about quarter 2025, the first quarter. And I'd like to close up this video and podcast to talk about reflection of 2024 and a key lesson or takeaway that I will take with me as I approach quarter one. And a key lesson for me has been being okay with putting myself out there. That is one thing that has allowed me to do the work that I do. And I talked about this in previous conversations is people have been able to find my work and commission me based on my online presence. So all these posts that I'm making, all these videos and podcasts and visiting people and talking to people and traveling and going to conferences and things like that, people begin to notice that I exist and that I offer a service and has allowed me to do the work that I do. So the biggest takeaway is definitely marketing. You don't have to be an expert. I have never been to marketing school or I don't have a business degree. To reiterate, I have a Spanish bachelor's and I also have a degree in teaching Spanish. But that does not mean that I can't learn at least the basics of marketing and how people will notice me. And I think that's the biggest takeaway. It's being okay, being brave. Sometimes when I post, before posting, I say, oh my goodness, am I okay with posting this? Or people think one of the things that I tell clients and I tell everyone is I really don't care what people think about what I'm doing. What matters for me is more important. What's most important for me is that I share my story, that I share our stories as people in this world, as Latinx, BIPOC people, communities of color. I think that's one of my biggest motivations and the work that I do, the work that I create. And people will always have an opinion. Luckily, I haven't had anyone reaching out or saying nasty things about what I do or nasty comments or mean comments. But in case I ever get those, I will just ignore them. Hey, their opinion does not matter. And of course, everyone has an opinion and you just take it with a grain of salt. That's the biggest things, honestly, that I want to share with you all today. The biggest takeaway. And again, to summarize is what you do in quarter 1 really depends on a lot of things that you've been doing in previous quarters. So if you're just starting out and thinking, I haven't done all these things in quarter 1, 2, and 3, it's okay. You can start fresh. You can start from a clean slate in the upcoming year and adjust. As you create, think about the things that you can create. Think about the things that maybe were too much to do, cut back, add more, find a balance for you. And honestly, I don't have a metric for that. It's just whatever is working for you based on your capacity or the whole things that you have around in your life going on. Again, I think that for us, it's important to make this and keep going and keep growing as artists. So I want to thank you for the opportunity of joining me in 2024 through all the videos and all the amazing projects that we have worked together with everyone else. So thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day.